Sin of the day, will of the week.
Roll it.
My sin of the day is I can't explain.
Your sin of the day are these freaking socks, white socks. Your feet are on the table and they stink.
Oh, this is not roast session yet. That usually comes for the hour after the hour mark when I say bye to the free niggas, and then you can roast me. You don't roast me in front of the free niggas.
I can do what I want.
Okay. Sin of the day. Let's try this again. I can't explain racism to white people anymore because you said something. Subscribe to the fucking Patreon in the later half of episode 55. That I don't know if you said it on this episode. Can I say it? What you said about all white people?
Oh, 100%.
Okay. And I've embellished that a little bit more. That all white people either are racist or don't understand racism. And at this point, I can't be out in public places explaining racism to you anymore. Like, I just can't.
It's old. YouTube it. Google it.
Yeah, but then people hit you with the, I never realized it was that bad. And, like, now I'm starting to realize that, like, people, and, like, it just sounds like when you hear people talk about it, it's just like, nigga, I know.
Then ask your black friend that you're closest to. Am I the only black friend you have? Ask somebody that you're close to.
Yes, you're the black friend that people say when they say, I'm not racist, I have a black friend.
They need to be more diverse, and they need to make sure.
Which goes back to the statement.
Because I don't want to do it.
Because even if, like, this is my thing about a lot of people that say, I don't, or for the people that fall into the realm of I don't understand race, or they don't understand racism, is like, you might say, oh, yeah, like, no, black people were treated bad. Black people are still treated bad. Still think it's gotten better for black people. Not doing this with you. But black people are still treated like shit. I was like, my issue is not with the blatantly racist people. My issue is with the old lady that clutches her purse whenever a nigga walks by.
Right.
When you're in the elevator and you grab your husband a little bit tighter, you're my problem.
Yeah.
Because you probably don't think you're being racist. Your excuse is that you're being cautious. But as a black man in America, I know if I was a white man that got on this elevator, you wouldn't be doing that.
Right.
So, and then it's like, I let somebody go on this long ass tangent the other day about like, yeah, I never realized how bad it was. And that's why I think that, like, you know, there's schools trying to get rid of, I hate when I do my white girl voice. There's schools that's trying to get rid of, like, slavery out of textbooks and stuff like that. And I'm like, my issue isn't really about, like, oh, black people know your history, know where you come from and shit like that. I like history. I like slavery in the history books because I need white people to understand where they come from.
Yeah, and we can't know where we come from because everything's so, like, disproportionate and things, like, we don't actually understand, like, where we came from because we were sold everywhere. Like,
100%.
There's no way for us to actually be able to know except for, and the history books is a whole other thing because that's also, like, I mean, yes, we have an idea about slavery, but, like,
I need you to get just the slightest bit of information because that is one of the key factors in helping you understand what racism is. If you can understand that black people got treated like this just for this, that will be just an inch a little, and you'll never know, you'll never 100% understand it because it's like me telling a guy, I mean, me as a guy telling a woman, I'm not going to touch that one. But me as a guy telling a woman how to maneuver through the streets. How could I ever know?
Right.
So I can't, like, you'll never.
Or how to DM her.
Oh, no, I know how to DM her. I definitely know how to DM her.
Call me, period, isn't a good DM. So.
I got what I wanted. Like I said, we'll touch on later how women say they want one thing and want something completely different. Stay tuned. But you'll never understand because you don't have to walk through those footsteps.
Right.
So the least bit of information is when you're diving into the history. And like you said, history is so muddled.
Yeah.
That so
like, white people have taken their own turn and done and like have a textbook. So like it has been like misconstrued in different ways for us. Like yes, there's like a little bit of truth, but majority of it is not. Like we celebrated Thanksgiving with when we were younger and we pretended to be Indians and had feathers on our head and like some of us dressed as pilgrims, and now we get here and we're like, that is not okay.
You're right.
So like how much of the textbook can you trust? I mean, not saying that anything is
feather not dot.
No.
Cancel button.
They're coming for you.
Cancel culture is in.
We're off to a bad start. We're already up to a bad start. But yeah, no, you're right. Fuck, you threw off my train of thought when you said that though.
You were saying just like the slightest bit of information.
Yes.
Is good for them.
Yes. And then I totally lost it. White people, stop trying to resonate with me in public because I can't keep explaining racism to you. I think that's really my end goal here in this whole conversation is I'm tired of having these conversations. I'm tired of listening to you. A lot of you white people, you sit up to me and you sit here and like you want to drown out. I mean, you want to drown my ears out with the same bullshit that I heard from the last white guy last week. Stop doing that. I'm so tired of these conversations. Yeah. You want to hear how I really feel about fucking racism? Tune into our Sensibles podcast. Tune into Protest and Riot podcast. Tune into Tatcher's podcast. Tune into Blur Watch podcast. Tune into Sticks podcast. Shout out YC's Entertainment. But don't plug. But no, I'm tired of having those conversations in public. I've already said how I feel about racism in America.
So what are they coming up and asking you? Like what
it's not really they're asking me anything. They're telling me how they feel about racism in America, and then they're waiting for me to like respond. I'm at that point where I don't respond anymore.
Can you give me an actual example? Like tell me like you're like just hanging out at a bar and Joe Schmo comes and what does he say?
How did that conversation start? Because I can give you the example that I just experienced. But I'm trying to figure out how to I don't really know how the conversation started, to be honest. Because it doesn't take white people to roll into the victim blaming game. Right. That's really what it is. But it's somehow that conversation got started. She's basically like, yeah, I dated this black guy for like 5 years, and one time we were somewhere and he was messing with me, and she was like jokingly, she said, "Damn," she blurted it out because white people.
The N-word.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it was her boyfriend. She said that's how they joke. But a friend of hers heard that, and she was like, "I'm not okay with that."
No.
And she's over here like, "Well, I don't mean any ill malice behind it. Like, I've never been nothing but this."
She said the N-word or he said the N-word?
She said it to her black boyfriend.
How do you feel about that?
I don't care. I've very
You're
openly.
what's wrong with this country?
No, I'm not. Y'all are what's wrong with this country. Only if you say it. I'll tell you what. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what's wrong with people that use nigga. I use nigga, like, what did Quinn say? Nigga's my favorite word. It's a person, place, noun, thing, adjective, adverb. But I use nigga to everybody. Okay. Shout out to Ashley, a social media manager, but I call her nigga all the time. She hates that shit.
If you're a black man and you're saying it's very different, or if you're a black woman, or...
Why?
Because it was used against
Because race determines whether you have certain privileges over a word, right?
I mean, white people can have other types of privileges. Why can't we just have one damn word?
Over a word? Name one word a white person has a privilege over. Give me one example.
They have privilege over stocks. They have privilege of having a DUI and not having actually getting charged
I said over
for
a word.
DUI. They have all we get is a word. Can we have that one word?
No.
That's all we get.
No.
That's all we get.
Privilege.
Privilege is ridiculous.
That's
white
the word they have privilege over.
Come on, Jeremy.
Can't let you do that. Because black men have privileges and black women have privileges in comparison to each other.
Yeah, but
so
they get to hold privilege.
So black people can use privilege. So give me one word.
We only.
If you got a word, put it in the comment section below.
We only get
except if you're cute. I know you're gonna put it in the Patreon comments. Shout out to you building up the Patreon community. But give me one word. That only white people have privilege to.
I don't have to give you a word because they have privilege to everything else.
You need an example to fight your battles. We're going to get back to examples later, too.
I have given you several examples.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. Literally, Ashley, I talked to Ashley.
You gave me.
She said she got pulled over. Listen to this. She got pulled over. This was a while ago. She got pulled over, and like the guy obviously knew she was drunk, and he was just like, okay, like.
Wow, this is a. Oh my God, you're just dropping names and putting their business out there like that.
I mean, she would say that openly.
All right.
We had this conversation about white privilege, and she was saying that like the cop was like, yeah, like just like drive safe home, but let somebody black or a person of color do that. They're going to jail. I'm
just asking for a word in equivalence to nigga.
Listen.
What's a word that only white people can say that black people should not be allowed to say?
Cracker.
Black people can't say crack. Black people say cracker more than white people.
I know, but that's technically their word.
No, it's not because we openly say it.
They can have and so do white people.
And white people don't casually call each other cracker.
And that's because we made it cool. Everything we do, white people want it.
If we made what cool? We made nigga cool?
We made nigga cool, hip hop culture, everything cool.
Okay, just stay on nigga.
Okay.
We made nigga cool.
Yes.
Did white people make cracker cool?
No, that's why.
Okay.
That's why
so now we've made nigga cool and we say it to each other. We've made it cool. We've made it cool.
Yes.
And now we
'cause
go
they
around
say, all
saying
my
it
black
casually.
friends say it. They're like, all my black friends say it like it's okay. It's cool. It's cool.
Yes.
No, it's not cool.
Okay. Your argument was I'm a part of the problem, and I say no, I'm not. I say I'm a part of the solution.
No.
Everybody should casually be
Just
able to say nigga.
You've lost your mind.
If one person gets to use it as a term of endearment, why can't everybody?
Because
That's what Ashley
it
said to
wasn't-
me. She said, I don't like when you use that word to me because I can't say it to you in the way that you mean it to me.
I mean, at least she knows. Smart girl.
That's my issue. Don't use the fucking word. Now, if you say, I don't say nigga, so I don't like when white people say nigga, I don't have a problem with it.
No.
I understand that's how you feel
I'm
about
okay with
the
you.
word.
I'm okay with
you
you
have
saying
an
it to white
issue
people. White
with
people having it come out of
a
their mouth, I'm
race
not cool.
saying a word that is borderline. That's an aspect of racism. You have an issue with one specific race saying a specific
Black
word.
people can't be racist. So
Okay, that's
make
an
that clear.
urban myth. That's
Black
just as
people cannot-
debunked as the
No.
fucking
We can
gender
be
wage gap.
stereotypical. We can be stereotypical, but we cannot, like, we can definitely have, like, some type of prejudice towards other races.
That is a
but
myth.
no.
Oh,
Black
okay.
people cannot be racist. Racism means that we have to have the power over another race. Black people do not have that damn power.
Over white people?
None.
Okay, what about other races
Zero,
in
zilch.
America?
No.
Bullshit.
Which one?
The Hispanic community.
No.
Black people have way more power in America than the Hispanic community.
No.
You just had your first black president.
Okay.
You just got your first black vice president.
Okay.
Female vice president. When you think Julio gonna get a chance? When do you think you're gonna see a fucking president named Julio Consueves? You name me one time.
Why are you like this?
You name it to me. When you think you're gonna get that president? We don't have more power than the Hispanic community?
You are so that was very prejudiced of you to use it, Jose.
Oh, but I can be prejudiced but not racist.
So if I would have said Lamont for black man
I would have corrected you and said Tyrone Johnson.
or Terrell Woo!
You good?
That was a good one.
I
That
told
was
you
the
I'm
only
funny.
that was the only good one you've had all day.
All right. We're only 18 minutes into a 2-hour episode.
You've been practicing that one.
Ah,
You've been waiting to see
He's trying my life. That's not.
me.
I'm tired of these motherfuckers coming on my fucking show and not watching shows prior to.
You've been waiting to use that one. That
'Kay.
was funny. Woo!
Black people have power. We might not overpower white people.
No.
But we have power.
Sure.
Which is why I say it's getting better for black people. I'm going
No.
to keep throwing that jab at you.
No.
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 But
I don't think it's as bad because obviously, like,
that's what better means. Not as
But
bad
better's
is equivalent to
but
better.
better is a real strong word. Like, better
I
is
didn't
a
say
real
it's
strong word.
great. It's
But
still
better
shitty.
is still too much for
But
me.
what did I say before? A progressive landslide on the scale of shitty is still better.
But we can't say that for every black person on this planet. Like, we can't, or in the United States, excuse me, you can't say that. People in Compton would not say that just because.
People in Compton would say that things have not got better in Compton as opposed to 70 years ago. People in Compton would say that.
You should ask somebody in Compton.
Okay. Anyways, white people, stop trying to talk to me about racism in America, okay? Just read your history and understand that sometimes you guys were the fucking devil.